In last video, we discussed about the horas in Vedic astrology. Today, we are going to start a brand new series on ascendants in Vedic astrology. We are going to see the foundation of all the ascendants. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic astrology. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. These videos will help you raise your vibrations and also navigate further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you are not following me on Instagram, this is my ID. Go follow me on Instagram. You can ask me questions in the comment section or you can message me on Instagram. All the horoscopes are divided into the 12 types, and these types are the rising sign. The rising sign in your horoscope determines the foundation of your horoscope. Couple of days back, I shared a video, my old video on a community tab, which was Rashis versus houses. Okay, if you have not watched that video, I recommend you go watch that video first. That will give you an idea about the distinction between the Rashis and the houses. In this series, we are going to talk about the ascendant as a foundation of the horoscope. Sky is 360 degrees and it is divided into the 12 Rashis of 30 degrees each. The Rashi at the time of your birth on the east horizon becomes your Lagna Rashi or the rising sign or the ascendant Rashi. This is not your sun sign, this is not your moon sign, but the rising sign. The rising sign changes after every 2 hours. All the ascendants get the chance to rise at the eastern horizon in a day. In the 24 hours, each Rashi comes for 2 hours, 12 Rashis, 24 hours, that's it. So this is the foundation of your horoscope. I will explain about this later in the video, okay? But this becomes the foundation of your horoscope. We have not put planets yet. We are only talking about the rising signs, and the houses are always fixed. The first house will always be the house at the eastern horizon. Seventh house will be always the house which is at the western horizon. Fourth house, which is the base of your horoscope, is the place where you stand on, is the fourth house. And the 10th house is the place right above your head, that is zenith. Okay, and that's why they say the Kendra houses are very important. So houses are fixed, and now the rising sign will decide what kind of energy you will have in this house. Okay, suppose you are Aries Ascendant. Okay, so you will have the energy of Mars in the first house. But if you are, say, Virgo Ascendant, the first house, the ascendant will be same. The significations of the first house, that is what first house signifies, will be same. But the Aries Ascendant and Virgo Ascendant will have different traits now. Because in first horoscope, the ascendant Rashi is Aries. So the personality, the body, the experience of the first house will have an impact or an environment of the Aries Rashi. And for the Virgo, it is altogether different. So first house will be same, the Rashi will be different. And in next level, not in this series, but in next level, we will be covering when we will put planet into that. So first So the first step is just look at the blank houses. You should, at this stage, you should know what are the houses. You should always know what is the first house, what is the sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, what are Kendra houses, what are Upachaya houses, what are the trinal houses. You should know this at this stage. Okay. Now we will be putting the ascendant Rashi into this as a step 2. And step 3, we will add the planets into that. Okay. So the first house will have the energy of the rising sign. And again, all the planets will be different. Will add their element and alter the predictions for us. Okay. So these 3 are very important steps. Let's take an example of a horoscope, and we will keep that horoscope consistent throughout our ascendant series, and we will change that horoscope to the ascendant we are talking about. So in next video we will be talking about some other ascendant. We will make the same horoscope as the ascendant we are talking, and then you will start realizing how the ascendant has a huge impact on the lordship as well as the energy we have in that house, and it changes the whole dimension of the interpretation. In this series we are going to talk about the 12 Rashis and what kind of energies these brings when they are rising for you. Like what would be the energies in all the houses if you have Gemini ascendant, if you have Virgo ascendant, if you have Pisces ascendant, Aries ascendant, Cancer ascendant, all the ascendants. Let's start with the Aries ascendant. For Aries ascendant, when it comes into your first house, we all know about the sign of Aries. If you have not watched the Aries Rashi video, I'll put that into the I button. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac belt. It is the first sign which is of a fire element ruled by Mars. So Aries is ruled by Mars, it is fire element, and it is the Dharma Trikona Rashi. When this Rashi comes into your first house, it brings the most enterprising person. This makes the person very energetic, the person who will take the initiative. Again, we have not put any planet into this, but Aries is the sign which is the Mula Trikona sign for Mars and the sign of exaltation for Sun. So it has the potential to initiate the things, get things done, and it has the great enthusiasm because it is the first breath of life. The most interesting thing about the Aries ascendant is first Rashi is in the first house. The numbers which you see on your horoscope are the numbers of the Rashis. The numbers you see on your horoscope are the numbers of the Rashis and not the houses. Houses are always fixed. Okay. So Aries ascendant has the energy of Taurus in the second house, Gemini in the third house, Cancer in the fourth house. So basically all the planets are doing what they are supposed to do or what they signify in a natural horoscope. That's why Aries ascendant is known as the Kalapurush Kundali or the natural horoscope. Second house has the energy of Taurus. Taurus is a strong-willed earth element sign ruled by Venus. So the early childhood is very comfortable for these guys. Let's move on to the third house. Third house has the energy of Gemini. What is Gemini? Gemini is all about communication. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So these guys are very talkative. These guys are very communicative to their siblings. The ruler of the third house is also the ruler of the sixth house of the enemies. And the ruler of third and sixth which is Mercury, is kind of enemy to the ascendant Mars. So these people communicate a lot with their siblings, yet they have the sense of competition, or they might have some friction with their siblings. Okay, the fourth house has the energy of the moon, which is what? Fourth house is the house of your mother. So these people are very connected to their mother. In the fifth house, they have the energy of the sun, the Leo sign. Leo is the sign of creativity, of the pride. So these people have the artistic talent as well as the uh, sun energy into their fifth house of the creativity. They always try to bring pride to their through their creativity. Okay, sixth house has the energy of the Mercury, which we already talked about. In the seventh house, we have the energy of Venus. So they tend to get a beautiful partner, a balanced partner. Why? Because Libra is in the seventh house. And more so, the first seven axis becomes Mars Venus, which is what? A natural signification of male and female energy. So they tend to have a great attraction between the partners. Aries Ascendant, the first house and the eighth house is ruled by Mars. Eighth house is the house of transformation. So they often get transformed through the ups and downs and change themselves. You can see this as the transformation of the self. In the ninth house, they have the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter is also the ruler of the 12th house in Pisces. So the 12th house and 9th house is the energy of the Jupiter for Aries Ascendant. So these people tend to spend on religious things like donations, or they might travel to the pilgrimages, they might visit temples, they might visit their religious sacred places, and they will spend money. 12th house is the house of loss, but their loss will be somehow to the religious deeds, to the spiritual deeds. In the 10th and 11th house, we have the energy of Saturn. 10th house is the house of karma. We have the Makar Rashi into the 10th house. So what this shows is they tend to work very hard, because this is the beauty of Aries Ascendant, that all the planets are doing what they are supposed to do. 10th house is ruled by Saturn. 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. The 10th house and 11th house has the energy of the Saturn. Saturn rules the 11th house in natural horoscope. This is huge. The 11th house is not ruled by Jupiter, Moon, Venus, Mercury, any benefic, but 11th house is ruled by Saturn, the planet of the karma. Whatever you are doing in the 10th house, you are going to get the results, fruits, benefits, wishes, dreams, all that into the 11th house in Saturn. Saturn is the ultimate planet of the karma and the gains. 11th house has the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of air element sign, the Kamatrikon sign, and a sign ruled by Saturn, which is intelligent. So these guys are often network themselves with the people who are into the social causes, or the philanthropist, or the people who donate huge monies. These all can be seen from the 11th house Aquarius. In the 12th house, they have the sign of Pisces. Pisces is all about the dissolve. 12th house and the Pisces is all about the dissolution of the self. We talked about this a lot in the Bhavad Bhavam series. But those who are new, 12th house is all about the dissolution of the self into the universe. And for Aries Ascendant, this is ruled by the Jupiter, the most benefic planet. and this also rules the ninth house. So we have already discussed how their losses are also about the pilgrimages. Okay, so yes, this is the foundation of the Aries ascendant. So if you have Aries ascendant, you have this foundation. So yes, this was Aries ascendant as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.